Hello and a very warm welcome. Thank you, Pranavi, for joining in. We are reading this amazing book, The Power of Intentions, by Dr. Wayne Dyer, W. Dyer. And today we are going to read something very profound that is about. Let me start sharing the screen and. Audible? Am I visible?
Yes, you're audible.
To me, I'm not. It feels as if I'm not there. Okay. So today we are going into from ordinary to extraordinary. Hmm. The chapter that we are reading about right now, I had the other day also shared with each one of you that we are talking about chapter number 5, which talks about your impact on others when connected to intention. Now, how we become from ordinary to extraordinary is what we are going to read today. Leo Tolstoy, famous story, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, is one of my favorite pieces of literature. Tolstoy describes Ivan Ilyich as a man who is motivated almost exclusively by the expectations of others and isn't able to live out his own dreams. The opening line of chapter 2 is this compelling story goes like this. The story of Ivan Ilyich's life was of the simplest, most ordinary, and therefore most terrible. Tolstoy actually defines living an ordinary life as terrible. I couldn't agree more. If your expectations of yourself center on being normal, just getting along, fitting in, and being an ordinary person, you will resonate to ordinary frequencies and you will attract more of normal and ordinary into your life. Furthermore, your impact on others as potential allies is co-creating your intentions with also will also resolve around ordinary. The power of intention occurs when you are synchronized with the all creating universal force, which is anything but ordinary. This is the power that's responsible for all the creations. It's ever expansive and thinks and creates in terms of endless abundance. When you shift to this higher energy and resonate more in harmony with intention, you become a magnet for attracting more of this energy into your world. You also have this kind of impact on everyone and everything you are in contact with. So if you, this is basically telling that if you are aiming and if you are telling yourself at all times that I am a normal being and it is all, it's absolutely fine to be, normal, to get along, to fit in. If you emit that kind of an energy, that is what you are going to have in your life. And if you, shift your energy towards getting better, being better, you will attract that in your life. It is said that most of you in this book itself, it was said, and I loved that sentence. I'll repeat it again from the book itself, which said ki your impact on others is the evidence of the strength of the connection of the power of intention, the connection that you have with the power of intention. And that is also applicable here, wherein it is saying that if you have a good connection with the power of intention, then you will in any case shift into the higher energies, you will resonate with it and you will attract abundance in your life. Do you want to
Yes.
share anything, Pranavi?
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to tell is you should always keep your vibes high and you should always work on the intention in a very focused way. Like, I mean, there will be ups and downs also, but then if you're, though you're in downs or ups or whatever, that connection or that thought to the reservoir of being extraordinary should always be in resonance with what you are doing. And I mean, indirectly he's just telling us to reflect more on the or take more action on the word like extraordinary. So when you really focus on that, universe will definitely bless the situations and opportunities as well. So yeah, that's what I understood, and it really works, Karishma. If you really have that thought, no, universe will definitely arrange in one or the other way. Might be we would think at that time that this is the hint, or is this a small hint for me, but then a lot of progress will be there in that. So yeah, it's absolutely profound and clear.
Hmm. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
One of the most effective means of transcending ordinary and moving into the realm of extraordinary is saying yes more frequently and eliminating no almost completely. I call it saying yes to life. Say yes to yourself, to your family, to your children, your co workers, and your business. Ordinary says, no, I don't think I can do it. No, that won't work out. No, I have tried that and it's never worked before. No, that intention is impossible for me. With the idea of no, you attract more of no, and your impact on others whom you could help and on whom you could rely for help is also no. Once again, I urge you to adopt the attitude of the poet Hafiz. And what does he say? I rarely let the word no escape from my mouth because it is so plain to my soul. The God has shouted, yes, 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 to every luminous movement in existence. Shout yes to everyone as often as you can. When someone seeks your permission to try something, before saying no, ask yourself if you want that person to stay at ordinary level of living. When my son Sans wished to try out a new surfing area last week, my first inclination was to say, too dangerous. You have never been there before, that you could get hurt, and so on. But I reconsidered and accompanied him on a new adventure. My yes impacted his life and mine in a positive manner. How many times do you say no, and how many times do you say yes in your lives? Hello, Prasanna ji. How are you? Where did you get the
I'm
link from?
I'm fine, thank you. I joined this 10 o'clock group, and then in that I got the link. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Pranavi, would you like to share something on this? Pranavi, are you there with us?
Yeah, I'm actually there, but then I was in mute, Karishma. Well, it is something like, when you have the power of intention, your heart knows how to guide you. So you should be very vigilant ki what kind of thoughts are running in your heart, and how the things are happening. And our heart also has a certain limitation to it. It keeps giving you instructions in a very clear way ki how you have to achieve your goal, or the power of intention. And if you start ignoring the directions given by the heart, once it says okay, even the second time it will guide you, even the third time it will guide you. And if you keep on saying no, and if you keep on ignoring the signals given by the heart to you, one fine day it will go into the dormant stage, and then you will be the part of this worldly affairs, and you can no way relate. I mean, you can no way become that extraordinary person of which you dreamt of. So you need to be very careful and vigilant. And the best thing is, like, if you sit and meditate, and if you calm yourself and try to focus on it, your heart starts giving you so many directions and so many hints to work on our intentions. So yeah, that is a clear path, and I executed it many a times, Karishma. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wonderful. And to be honest, it is said that if you have any kind of intuition, and if you do not, listen to that intuition also vanishes off after a while.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
is exactly what you are referring to, right, Pranav?
Yes, exactly. And as I have told you today, I have read a topic on 95% of the people are not into the category of extraordinary, because they don't listen to what their intuition is telling. They always want to be in that comfort zone and be at their own level. So if you wanted to belong to that 5%, no, the only mantra is sit, meditate, and work on your intentions and try to listen to what it is telling. So yeah, that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And Prasanna, would you like to share something on this?
I'm catching up the points, maybe subsequently. Yeah.
Sure. Making yes your inner mantra allows you to extend yes outside of yourself and attract more of yes into your own personal intending. Yes in is the breath of creation. Think of a drop of rain merging with the river at the moment of becoming the river. Think of the river merging with the ocean at the moment it becomes the ocean. You can almost hear the sound of yes being whispered in those moments. As you merge with the universal force of creation, extending yes wherever feasible, you become that force of creation itself. This will be your impact on others. No more ordinary no's in your life. On to the extraordinary. Ordinary implies being stuck in the rut, much like Ivan Illich. While in the rut, you will attract other rut dwellers, and your mutual impact will be to stay in your ordinary ruts, complaining, finding faults, wishing, and hoping for better days. The universal force of intention never complains, it creates and offers its options for greatness. It judges no one and isn't stuck wishing and hoping that things will improve. It is too busy creating beauty to be so foolishly engaged. As you move your own energy level up out of the rut mentality, you will have an uplifting effect on all of the rut dwellers in your life. Moreover, you will help many of them have a similar impact and create new allies in fulfilling your own intentions. Become aware of your identification with the normal or ordinary and begin to vibrate to higher and higher energetic frequencies, which constitute a shift upward into the or extraordinary dimension of pure intent.
Yeah, I will just carry for the next paragraph.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to discuss that?
I think that is very much clear that what we need to do is, just start operating to a higher frequency of intent so that we have better experiences of life, so that our life, instead of being a very normal life, gets into an extraordinary. First, be an extraordinary being to attract the extraordinary from there.
Yes.
Yeah.
How your energies impact others. When you feel connected and in harmony with intention, you sense a major difference in how other people react to you. Be cognizant of these reactions because they will bear directly on your abilities to fulfill your individual intentions. The more closely you automatically resonate to the frequencies of the universal all creating source, the more that others will be impacted and their lower energies will be nullified. They will gravitate towards you, bringing peace, joy, love, beauty, and abundance into your life. What follows is my opinion on how you will impact others when you're resonating with intention, and how different you impact is when you're dominated by your ego separatist attitude. Here are some of the most significant ways in which you'll impact others. Your presence instills calmness. When you coincide with intention, your impact on others has a calming influence. People tend to feel more at peace, less threatened, and more at ease. The power of intention is the power of love and receptivity. It asks nothing of anyone, it judges no one, and it encourages others to be free to be themselves. As people feel calmer in your presence, they are inclined to feel safe by virtue of the energy frequencies that you radiate. Their feelings are encouraged by your energy of love and receptivity, causing them to want to reach out and be with you. As Walt Whitman put it, we convince by our presence. I repeat, we convince by our presence. If instead, where is it?
Sorry. If instead, here it is.
Yeah, if instead you bring the lower calibrations of judgment, hostility, anger, hatred, or depression to your interactions, you attract that level of energy. If it's lurking in the peoples you are interacting with, this acts like a counterforce to those same energies if they are present in others. The impact intensifies the lower frequencies at the level and creates a field in which demands are placed as a result of feelings of inferiority and opposition. Intention doesn't interact against anything. It's like gravity, which doesn't move against anything, nor does gravity itself move. Think of impacting others like gravity, with no need to move against or attack anyone. People who feel empowered by your presence become kindred spirits. That can only happen if they feel safe rather than attacked, secure rather than judged, calm rather than harassed.
Amazing. This is so beautiful. And would you like to share anything on this, Pranav?
Yeah, the recent example is, I it all depends upon, I mean, our way of thinking depends upon the way we have been groomed out and the way we have been, cultured or whatever. So, my husband's sister's son, he's going to, if we are actually Hindus, now he's going to get married with a Christian. That's absolutely fine for me. But then, if you really go into the depth of it, their way of grooming things and their way of certain neural patterns or the behaviors or personalities or whatever, their way of training would be different from our way of training. It's not that they are good and bad and we are more than that. It's not like that. But then what I feel is that maybe after few years, I don't know how they would contradict these or how they would handle the personalities, different personalities at a go, because we never experienced that in our family, Karishma. So the other day I went for a small party. Of course, now the destination marriage is going to happen within 3 or 4 days. I just went for a mini get together. Before, this Pranavi or this old version used to think so sad and so confused about the things happening around the world. But then yesterday I was just calm and I was just observing the things around, and I'm just observing how the parents are able to take it. And I was just praying that everything goes good, because it's of no use telling to parents, not to the kid. I mean, there is mistake of no one over here. Even the parents can't say anything to the guy, and the guy is not that matured enough to take things, or to, he doesn't has a clarity of thinking actually. But then I have seen all the personalities around me, and I just stopped and I was just whiling away. I was just observing. That's it. I didn't argue, nor I didn't start giving advices, nor anything. I just set, I just set into the calm mode, and if I get any other distractions on that particular couple or whatever, immediately I went to the prayer mode and just asked the universe to bless them.
Wonderful. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is always, good if we stay calm, if we stay in our own power. So staying in calm is not always very easy. You
Yes.
must understand that staying in your calm is practicing your own power.
Yes.
And if you do that in the odd situations as well, you need to understand that you radiate and you give out that kind of an energy wherein everybody and anybody would like to sit around you, talk to you. Why? Because they will understand that no matter what happens around, you choose to stay calm, you choose to not judge, you choose to love, you choose to give an ear, right? And that is such a better situation to be in rather than becoming the monkey in the fight, right?
Yes, yes. And actually, yesterday, I got up at 4:30, and I did my sadhana. Due to that sadhana effect, also, I was just not able to open my mouth nor even use my tongue to
Hmm.
move and say things around. So, as you said, maybe when we are in total union with the universal force, this kind of condition is something automatic. We need not take it with pressure or something like that. So, yeah.
I
Wonderful.
have just one or two points just to add to
Yes,
what
please.
you mentioned. One thing is that there are two things. One is everyone is unique. First of all, huh? So there is there are always different options, opinions, and so many things. Their own way of thinking and all that thing. That is one thing. If we accept that we are all unique individually, then the what Madam just now mentioned, like when this kind of alliance was happening, and in that she maybe Madam's intention is different, and the boys and girls' intentions may be different, but she wanted to remain calm and means in her own way. See, and in that way, what I think is indirectly she accepted, she recognized that everyone is unique and they have their own way of their own life. Number one. Number two is that there are certain things we also need to accept that certain things we can change, certain things we cannot change, and there is always a good wording which is always there is always it is the intelligence or our mind capacity to accept the difference of what we can change, what we cannot change, and we need to be aware that which we cannot change. We need to be aware of it. Then things will be very smoother in our lives.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you caught hold of the context and everything. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your perspective, Prasanna ji.
Thank you.
And as I was thinking on this, again this book that we read earlier, The Courage to be Disliked, was so beautifully sharing with us that we need to understand that we all are standing on the same line. Nobody is inferior, nobody is superior. And once we eliminate that idea of inferior and superior, I think it is so much more easier for us to accept whatever the decision others are making and howsoever they are operating. What we have is pure intention to just, take them as equal and suggest them anything that we feel like suggesting. But there is no space for judgment. There is no space for, pulling anybody down or making, putting somebody on the pedestrian or any of that. And when you choose the state of calmness, it is so much aligned with the, uh, you know, uh, with the power of intention, reasoning, that when you find, uh, why is it that when you find a serene space, when you see a beautiful and calm, this photograph or a scene in front of you, why do you feel so happy? You feel happy only when you are closer to the power of intention. And whenever you are closer to the power of intention, you will choose to stay calm.
Exactly. Very well explained, Karishma. True.
Thank you. All right. Would you like to read ahead, Pranavi?
Yeah. Your presence leaves others feeling energized. I recall leaving a 2 hour session with a spiritual master and feeling as if I could conquer the world emotionally and spiritually. The saint was Mother Meera, who held my head in her hands and gazed into my eyes with her egoless divinity. I felt so energized that then I didn't sleep that entire night. I wanted more of what this joyous being had shown me through her presence alone. When you bring the frequencies of intention into the presence of others, they will feel energized just by being in your immediate circle. You don't have to say a word, you don't have to act in any prescribed fashion. Your energy of intention alone will make others in your field feel as if they have mysteriously been empowered. As you begin consciously expressing the 7 phases of intention, you will discover that others begin to comment on the impact you're making on them. They will want to assist you in fulfilling your own dreams. They will be energized and volunteer to help you. They will even begin to offer to finance your dreams with their energized new ideas. As I have grown in my consciousness of the power of intention, I have been told I had an impact without my doing anything other than spending an evening having a meal in a restaurant. People tell me they have been energized with greater confidence and determination and inspiration after our time together. I have done nothing. They have felt impacted by the field of high energy we shared.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
Yeah,
Before we go ahead, let's discuss this as well.
yeah.
How many of you have, felt that energy? You go and you talk to somebody, and all of a sudden you feel so depleted. The poor soul has done nothing to you, but you feel that all the energy that you had is just sucked out of you. And there are times when you meet somebody and you feel that there is nothing that much that has happened between two of you, but you feel so happy inside and you feel so bubbly, chirpy, and dancing like that. Oh, I'm so happy today. I have so much of energy. Ask me to do anything and I'll do it. Have you experienced that any time in your life?
Many a times.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
How about you, Prasanna ji?
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Many a times. Yeah.
That is exactly what happens when you are connected more. The people who are connected more to the power of intention, whenever you go into their energy field, you will feel that power inside you. You will automatically start feeling happier, more loved. There are so many times when you go to somebody and you feel automatically, पता नहीं सामने वाले ने कुछ नहीं किया, and you are like, आज मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. It feels like, hi, that person loves me so much, and you feel loved. Where is that love coming from? Maybe from the universe, because you have just came into a brief connection with the power of intention somebody else was holding. There are times when you're just like ऐसे इतना सा gap में से निकल जाते हो, and then too you receive that power, that vibration, what you call. And how beautiful would it be if every person, at least we in this room, start radiating that energy outside. Whoever comes near us, whoever comes to talk to us, should feel so beautiful, so amazing, so healed, that when they leave you, they must feel that, Arey wah, when am I going to go back and talk to her or him? And that is possible only when you start connecting yourself to the power of intention.
And the author has clearly specified, and in fact, I observed the world around me also, Karishma. Uh, at times, when I go for walk in my community daily, I see so many faces around me, and I feel that the people who come for work, or the gardening people, or the electricians, or whoever, they just shower a lovely, authentic smile. And the people who belongs to the same community, they carry such a arrogant looks, like if you give a smile, they don't even smile back to you. Then I observed that when they have given back smile to me, I was feeling happy. Whoever it is, it may be an electrician, or any person. Then I thought that that is what here the author is mentioning, that if you execute those 7 phases of life which he has
Yes.
given in the book, uh, forget about the inner structure, but at least if you try to execute from that, the physiology to psychology, at least giving a smile, just wishing them a good morning, or just a subtle smile, or just a small things, they heal a lot, Karishma. So I don't know. Whoever I meet, I just talk to them in 1 or 2 words. And if they sweep on the roads, I say that today the weather is so good that at least today you will feel more comfortable and stuff like that. So I have the habit of doing that, and I really feel that when we soothe in them, they also feel so happy and caring as well. So again, this belongs to those 7 phases of the things which the author has given out. So I thought I should work in a higher level key, I mean, not the higher level, I should keep on practicing it in a constant way.
I agree with it. I remember that last to last weekend I had gone to satsang. This weekend I missed going, and my husband was not very well, so I went on a e-rickshaw. So
Mhm.
when I went there, and when I was coming back, so I don't know, I was seeing something in my phone while coming back, and I skipped one of the crossings, from where I needed the rickshaw to follow the route. And I was like, "Oh, bhaiya, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. You have to turn from there. Please take back and this and that." He's like, "अब मैडम इतना सॉरी क्यों बोल रहे हो? It's okay, it's okay. सबको होता है, सबके साथ हो जाता है, आपको इतनी दुख क्यों हो रहा है? Why are you saying?" आप सॉरी क्यों बोल रहे हो? Sorry. And then when I got off the rickshaw, I asked him to wait for a while, and I got the money, and I gave him the money, and I thanked him कि thank you भैया for dropping me over. And he was like, अरे मैडम आप थैंक यू भी बोल रहे हो? My God, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with this guy? Hasn't anybody ever been so kind to him कि कभी सॉरी या थैंक यू भी बोला होगा?
Yes, yes.
मैम आप
Yeah,
क्यों बोल रहे
people
हो?
are like
मैम
that.
आप क्यों बोल रहे हो? It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Prasanna ji, do you want to share anything?
I mean, so there are two things we discussed just now. One is the power of intention wise, how some people have influence on us, and secondly, how ourselves, or say myself, how I can be influential to the others. Yeah, this is what I thought we are discussing. In some cases, no, we might have come across. I can quote my father. When my father is at the house, everyone, like, just like, honeybees, all they come. The way his presence is so kind of a humorous, and loving, humorous, and all that. Everyone likes, everyone loves, that kind of a feeling. Automatically it comes. The same thing, um, maybe others, means how individually, how I can be of that kind of a attracting kind of thing, or based on my intention, how I can be influential to others. I think there is a good learning here.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we go ahead or we want to stop here?
We'll just finish it off within, by sharp 11, we can log out. No?
ठीक है. Chalo, let's read ahead.
Yeah. Where we are in, yeah. Your presence allows others to feel better about themselves. Oh, this we have done, right?
नहीं,
Yeah.
नहीं. We have finished reading this, no? Your presence leaves others feeling energized.
This
Now
one.
we are going on to this one. Your
Yes.
presence allows
Yes.
others to feel better about themselves.
Oh, yeah. Your presence allows others to feel better about themselves. Have you ever noticed when you're in the presence of certain people? This is done, I guess. All right, we'll see anyhow. Have you ever noticed when you're in the presence of certain people that you feel better about yourself? Their compassionate energy has the noticeably pleasant impact of simply making you feel really good about yourself. You will impact others with this energy of compassion as you develop your connection to intention. People will sense that you care about them, understand them, and are interested in them as unique individuals. With this kind of connection to intention, you are less likely to focus conversation on yourself and use others to massage your ego. On the contrary, being in the company of someone who is disdainful or indifferent impacts you quite differently. It is this low energy you transmit to others. They're quite likely to depart the encounter feeling less than wonderful about themselves, unless they're so strongly connected to intentions that they can override the impact of this low energy. These extremely low energy thoughts and behaviors are evident if you use every topic that's brought up as an excuse to talk about yourself. Any behavior similar to this displays ego dominating energy that impacts others unpleasantly. Moreover, it leaves others feeling as if they are insignificant or unimportant, and obviously feeling worse about themselves when it's a repeated pattern in a significant relationship.
Amazing. So when have you been around such people who keep on talking about what have I accomplished, what have I accomplished? It's always about him or me, I. That they keep on talking and talking and talking about themselves. And all of a sudden you start feeling so small that, oh my God, I have not even done anything in my life. I have seen such people. And
Yes,
they
they
do
do
not
that.
have that energy, that talks about. So there are times when somebody is talking to you and they're being compassionate towards your own journey. They're not talking about themselves. But there are some people who talk about themselves and they keep putting themselves on a higher and higher and higher pedestal without them even knowing that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So your presence allows others to feel better about themselves only when you make it about them. You do not make it about yourself. Because everybody here, everybody I have realized over a period of time that wants to be heard. People
Yes.
are tired. People are tired of listening to others.
Yes.
Mm.
Exactly. These days, if at times, no, Karishma, if I'm feeling tired or something like that, I'm not reaching the people out because I'm just, making myself to be patient to listen to whatever they're saying. Especially in the morning, I take around 7 to 8 students, Karishma. I can see the grossness and I can see everything in them, but then I need to be patient enough to handle things in a smoother way. It's dead easy to take the lesson or to conduct a class to them, but then managing their egos and handling them is really a tough task. But then I have no choice. I know the colors of them outside the community also, but then when they come to our class, it should be like an ashram environment. So you need to work on that. But then when it becomes a habit, it will be good for us and them also. So yeah.
You know what, Pranavi, you can introduce them a one-on-one session. जिसको बात करनी है one-on-one बात करना on a Zoom call. Don't disturb me in the session. Let me host the yoga session nicely first.
Yeah, I will just divert them using some of the other things, like now let's take another asana or something like that, in a very subtle way, because I don't know people. Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead.
Your presence allows others to feel unified. The effect of being in the presence of people expressing higher frequencies is to feel unified and connected to all of the nature, all of humankind, and to intention. As you raise your frequencies, your impact on others invites them to be on the same team. You are unified and want to assist each other in the fulfillment of a common objective. The opposite of this feeling of unity is feeling polarized and cut off. Low energy is demanding and always moves against others. Therefore, it will inevitably produce a win or a lose condition. The energies of antagonism, judgment, hatred, and the like set up a counterforce in which somebody has to lose. When you have an enemy, you need to establish a defense system, and have to defend yourself becomes the nature of your relationship. One person's need to move against and polarize sets in the motion the conditions for war. War is always expensive. This is all avoidable by staying connected to intention and bringing that higher energy to your relationships, allowing those you encounter to feel the oneness with you, with everyone else, with nature, and with the God.
Anybody wants to share anything on this? Any experiences of this kind?
It's I don't know, Prashant ji, right? Do you wanted to express anything?
Prasanna.
Prasanna, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Um, overall, I think synergy among the people is a good thing to have. And when there are differences and ego and the things, they have no common things to think of, and then such things are likely to happen. At the same time, I think the power of intention makes everyone to come in line. Even though they may have different opinions, or say their line of thinking, they will come together because of the power of intention. I think so.
Wow, nice. Thank you for sharing that, Prasanna. And Pranavi, would you like to share anything?
It is like, Karishma, there are intensities. There are so many groups. I being a social person, I try to blend with almost most of the groups around me. But then if you go to ashram, their common goal would be to reach the divinity. So there the topics will be in alignment with each and every heart around over there. And in few of the groups, no, it's like they vibrated a very lower frequency. So, and it's like you should, when they are vibrating in that particular lower frequencies, it's better to avoid them. But then if there would be situations where we can't avoid them, then you need to be in touch with them, no doubt about it. But trust me, if you are in that exactly the divinity mode or whatever, they will not disturb you. So
In this book itself, it was said that if you stay in the higher frequency, that lower frequency is going to go off.
yes, yes,
It will get suppressed.
yes. And what my master recently has, not recently, it's been 2 years, I guess. So if you don't have any work at home, if you're very free at home, so you have to just sit and give a thought that the environment around you, or the I mean, in whichever room you are there or in whichever place you are there, you should go deep into the prayer mode and start giving a suggestion that the whole environment and the whole particles, the molecules and everything is in that divinized mode, and that whole area will be cleansed out completely, and you'll, I mean, you can feel that divine divinity around us. And then slowly you have to give a thought that even this will get instilled to other hearts who are around us. It may be in the physical form or in the other soul form or whatever. So first what I thought was, if we sit idle also, master is not allowing us to wander around. What is this? But then trust me, if you really work on that, each and every particle is divinized around you, and the environment is being totally purified. Trust me, you'll feel that whole reservoir of energy getting in sync with you.
When
So
when I was really young, still remember my mom used to say that, while you are meditating,
mhm,
while in meditation, what is her aim is that each time she chants the names given by her, spiritual master,
mhm, mhm.
each pore of my being fills with it. And if that happens, let that energy soak into every particle of my home.
Lovely.
If the entire floor is covered, let the walls be covered. And I still remember anybody who came to our home, whether it was a beautiful house or it was a little old fashioned house or howsoever it was at that time, everybody so much enjoyed being in that energy. It only gave them the realization and this thing of remembrance of God. And and she used to, tell me as well, when after I got married, that, you start doing this. And the day
Lovely.
you get filled up with the entire thing, your entire house will start getting filled up. But I'm sorry to say that it has not happened as of now.
Yeah, you can. I mean, when you are just,
It is a
these days,
long process.
what I'm doing, Karishma, if I am stressed out completely at a physical level. So what happens is, when you're physically tired, your ego is also tired. So
Mm.
slowly, if you get into that the prayer mode or the sleep mode,
Mm.
things go at a higher level, Karishma. Because before that, I used to think that if I'm totally tired, I wouldn't sit for meditation. These days, if I'm tired, I'm happily sitting, because my anyhow the superficial one will be sleeping in the sleep mode. So
Exactly.
obviously, the subconscious will be activated. No, so
Mm.
in that way, the thought power is working very beautiful.
Yes.
So it's like that, huh?
Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. With this, we can
Do,
complete
do, do you
finish.
want do you want me to read?
Yeah. Go
You
ahead.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Your presence instills a sense of purpose. When you are in the higher spiritual energies, you bring something to others that's almost inexplicable. Your presence and behavior from a space of love, acceptance, non judgment, and kindness becomes a catalyst for others feeling on purpose in their lives. By staying at the higher energies of optimism, forgiveness, understanding, reverence for spirit, creativity, serenity, and bliss, you radiate this energy and convert lower energies to your higher vibrations. These people whom you so indeliberately, non-deliberately impact begin to feel their quiet reverence and serenity. Your own purpose, which revolves around serving others and therefore serving God, becomes fulfilled, and as a bonus, you create allies. I have had thousands of people tell me that just by attending a lecture or a talk at a church where the primary message is hope, love, and kindness is sufficient motivation for them to make a commitment to pursuing their purpose. When I'm the speaker at such events, I always enter from the rear of the room to take some time to drink in the energy of hope, optimism, and love. I can literally feel their collective energy. It is like a peaceful wave of pleasure, as if there were a warm shower running inside of me. This is energy. It is the stuff of intention, and it is powerfully motivating in helping everyone feel purposeful and hopeful.
Wonderful. Thank you for reading that, Prasannaji. Would you like to share something on that?
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, it is really um, where we the like a company matters, or where the surrounding or the environment where we feel and we get associated matters. I think that that is the summary. If we are in they're talking about a church, for example, where optimism, love, hope, everyone goes there with that intention, and that intention drives everyone, and it becomes the common good thing to happen there, and we feel good about it. So everyone feels good about it, like that.
The more higher frequencies that you stay in, the less of complaining, cribbing, kind of energy you stay in. The
Mm.
closer you are to the power of intention, the more gratitude and more forgiveness, and the more optimism, more creativity, more love, more um, warmth you have in your actions and in your life. This is what I would like to share on this.
Well, what exactly you meant by higher means, frequency, or higher?
Higher frequencies are, if you go and check on the chart of emotional frequencies, you will
Uh,
see that hatred, fear, doubt, limiting beliefs, and these all come at a very low frequency. And when you go on the higher frequencies, you will see gratitude, love, affirmations, such kind of words you will find in the higher frequency. Kindness, calmness are all in the happiness, joy, abundance comes into the higher frequency. In the
mhm.
moments when you are feeling happy, kind, calm, joyful, abundant, that is the time when you are in a higher frequency. That is the time when you're nearer to godliness.
Ah, yes, yes.
All right. Let's hear it from you, Pranavi.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, if you vibrate with higher frequencies, the forget about how much charged you are, but just imagine you are giving that charge to the opposite person as well, and that condition is so inexplicable, Karishma. So this though I face it usually in my class. They feel that we feel good, forget about what we are learning here. We feel good and we wanted to go back to home with that happy and warming, loving hearts. So it's that is the last pleasure of me. I mean, that's the best the payment they are giving to me. Like, if you are enlightening the other hearts, if you are giving that positivity to the other hearts, that itself is the best service given by us to them, and this is all the universe wants it from us. So that's really a blissful condition, Karishma. It's like now, it's I mean in an exemplary way I can tell that as you have started this reading during the night time, the whole night I can feel so blissful and thankful that while sleeping I got these vibes into me, and once again I just try to activate all the things which are related to the power of intention. And at times we do miss executing few things. So when you recall all this, and together the collective energies in the room and all, they play a very high impact on us. At times it happens consciously, but at times it happens unconsciously also.
Very
So
well.
it's actually a great blessing, like vibing at the higher levels and discussing about how this intention works and all. That is really a gift, a boon, actually.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks to you for suggesting this book,
That's absolutely okay, Karishma. But then, vibing
One
and
one quick thing, and now I got understood this higher frequency, higher energy. This there is I was listening to, or attending the lecture sessions on Bhagavad Gita, and there is a state called Chitta Shuddhi, the higher frequency. When the person reaches, the person comes closer to something called Chitta Shuddhi level. That is where this entire thing, what we are talking about, no? Like you mentioned a word, coming closer to God. Like Aham
Chitta
Brahmasmi, and
Shuddhi. Just the word in itself is so self-explanatory. Chitta Shuddhi. That is, your heart and soul is all clean. It is all Shuddh. That is when you will be closer. We have accumulated so much of dust and dirt over our soul that it will take us so long to wash off that dirt and dust.
yes. True. Yeah.
Wow. That is a good concept that you shared, Prasanna ji. Chitta
Chitta
Shuddhi.
Shuddhi.
Chitta
Chitta
Shuddhi.
Shuddhi.
Is that a place?
No. It
It
is
is
a
a
state.
concept. It is a word
No,
only, na?
no. It is not a concept. It is a state.
it's
Oh,
The
a
is it?
person.
condition. Yeah, Karishma, it's a condition achieved by the sadhaka, the aspirant.
No, he's saying it is
When
the name of a place.
No, it is not a name of a place. It is a state. State means
State of our being.
state of a
Yeah.
person. State
Yeah.
of a
Oh,
person.
yes. Yes.
How a person can reach to that level. For example, Ramana Maharshi and Shankaracharya, and the people who have reached that status, or stage, we can say stage. There are different stages in our level what we can reach.
Yes.
And we understand ourselves and reach that is a level where what I understood, or at least trying to understand, is once a person reaches Chitta Shuddhi, then the person will be able to go in the way of Gnana Marga. Gnana Marga, to go into Gnana Marga, we need to reach that stage, the Chitta Shuddhi stage. But we all start with, because we are in a normal life, and it all goes through various, Bhakti Marga and Karma Marga. We are in the profession, so we always do karmas,
Hmm.
jobs and profession and personal life. Everything is karma anyway.
Yes.
And once we reach a level, the Chitta Shuddhi level, then the person can go into Gnana Marga.
Hmm. Got that. Wow, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that concept. We would like to, hear more on this in the tomorrow's session.
Yes, yes, yes.
God bless each one of you. Sleep well, and tomorrow we will start with the next, way how our presence can be impactful in somebody else's life. Um, till then, take good care of yourself. God bless you all, and sleep well. Bye.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
yes.
night.
Good
Good night,
night. Good
everyone.
night.
Bye bye.
Good night. Good night.